Yo, what is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be taking a look at AirPods with regard to how viable they are for making music. I've had these for about 8 months and I kind of don't use them a ton. I mean, I use them for phone calls, I use them for listening like when I'm not home. But I mean, just for overall music production, I'm either using my Sennheiser 650s or my studio monitors. So, I mean, I've never used these for production, but I thought it'd be an interesting video to take a look at them and see if they are viable as music making instruments. One thing we're going to be looking at is their frequency response, so how well they reproduce bass, higher frequencies, mids, I mean just their overall frequency response. One thing that's important with wireless headphones is their latency, so are they going to be viable for doing like live things or like for recording on, you know, like a drum machine or something, and being able to hear yourself doing that. So without further ado, let's pop these in. And we'll make sure that they're playing through to Ableton. This. Okay, so now that I've set up the AirPods, it's saying that they're gonna have 192 latency, so that's not fantastic. So I guess the first test would be to try out the drum pads and see if the latency is even something that you can do in like a live, you know, drumming scenario. No, you there's so much latency there that you can't even stay on time with yourself. I hope you can see that coming through, like how much latency there is. I mean, 200 milliseconds, that's pretty huge. So, what about like playing? I mean, playing something more melodic maybe is a little bit easier, but overall the latency is not great for doing things like that. But what we can do is we can move on and go into like, you know, just drawing notes in and messing with it that way. So we can go in here and, oops. Okay. Let's just go in here and draw in the scale. I'm gonna go turn these down. Jesus. Okay, so we'll just draw in like just some random chord progression. What is that? Oh. Yeah, I can even see that latency coming through just on where the playhead is, you know? It's playing the notes way after it reaches there. But that's okay. I mean, that's not like a deal breaker for you know, making music just here in MIDI notes like this, you know. Siri, stop. Thank you. You know what? We're turning Siri off because I'm over it. That's happened twice now. Goodbye. I guess we can, I don't know, throw in a bass line too. Sounds pretty cool. Oh, I see what just happened. So that was like aliasing because we're oversampling. So we're gonna choose a different thing. So that's an issue with AirPods, I guess, is, you know, they don't have the most powerful audio processing capabilities. What I'm doing here is running the kick into an external instrument and then into the sidechain bus, and then I'm going to route this bass line into that sidechain bus so that whenever the kick hits, it turns the sub down or the bass down. What that does is it allows the kick to come through on the mix a little bit better. Let's put an EQ on this piano, cut out some of the lows. Okay, so what I'm noticing is, I mean, like the bass reproduction for the AirPods is pretty good. It's not like it's nothing special, but it's usable. It's not like there's just no bass to an extent, you know. And then as far as the highs go, sounds pretty good. I mean, pretty solid experience. Except for that aliasing that it does sometimes, just glitching out. I wonder if I were to go and raise this to like, I don't know, 512. It bumps the latency up a little bit, but not a ton. Seems to still happen. I'm hoping that sound is coming through properly so you guys hear what I'm hearing, but it's not pleasant. Yeah, that's not fantastic. But other than that, I would say they're pretty solid. So overall, as far as latency goes, these are not super great. I mean, you're not going to be able to do anything that requires like immediate feedback. You can barely hear yourself. You can barely hear yourself play that properly. But as far as like just in here drawing notes in and just overall like regular music production, aside from those glitches that we're seeing and hearing, I mean they're pretty good. I'm gonna say that these are okay for music production, but they're not fantastic. And if you can, get an audio interface and a proper pair of headphones and some proper speakers. But if you're on a pinch, I mean, and you just wanting to maybe just produce on your laptop and then just have these with you, it's viable. It's doable in my opinion. So yeah. I wanted to keep this video short and sweet, so I mean, I think we did that. We kind of just threw down a beat and tested the overall latency performance of the AirPods, which wasn't great. And then we tested just like the overall like frequency response. They have pretty good bass, they have pretty good highs. And if you were needing to, you know, do like a light mixing on these, I think it would be possible. But I think if you were doing like a final mix down, you would definitely want to look for a better pair of headphones to do it with. So yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and leave me a like. That would help me out a ton. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.